Hey guys, welcome back to the course. So we introduced ebooks in our last lecture, but now let's discuss how you go about creating one. Now the first thing to know is that ebooks are kind of like books, except way shorter, and a fraction of the effort went into it. Well, the length is actually up to you. You can make your ebook as long as you want, but if you want to produce more of these things, shoot for a length in the neighborhood of, say, 20 to 30 pages. Keep in mind that many ebooks also have a lot of visuals, so in terms of writing, you might not have to actually write, say, 20 to 30 pages of stuff. It could actually just be 15, or it could be less. And then also keep in mind, you might be borrowing stuff from your blog, so you're only creating new stuff for maybe half of that. Your design and your use of visuals will affect that a final amount. Now, if you watch the lecture on how to create a white paper, well, these next steps might sound familiar. It's really because when you create any kind of content, you kind of have to start in the same process. Well, first, what do? Anybody remember? You identify your audience. Who exactly you're writing this ebook for. Now keep in mind, this ebook might not be the exact same audience as your overall website is targeting. It might be a really specific subset, really specific problem or skill set that a really specific group needs. Once you figure this out, this will help you figure out a good topic that's going to be relevant to them. So pick your topic. For a white paper, we usually choose a problem to solve. In the case of an ebook, well, we generally want to pick a topic or a concept or a collection of concepts to cover. In the end, it probably does solve a problem too, but the focus will be more about providing in-depth detail and best practices than proving a point through research and data. I really like this example from UXPen that we mentioned in the last lecture. UXPen knows that their audience is probably going to be a bunch of user experience people designing apps and websites and other types of things. So creating an ebook for that audience, well, helps UXPen strengthen the relationship with them and prove that they're worth it. Hey, you should use my tool. The topic they chose is a perfect one for their audience. How to launch your UX career and get paid. Well, the ebook is about serving the needs of the audience and setting them up for career success. Well, your ebook could be a way to set up your audience with success as a designer or a developer or whatever. Whatever you choose, the audience and the topic should be perfect matches for each other. Next, you should write up a title and an outline. The title should essentially be the topic in headline form, the line people will read on the landing page or on an ad and then say, okay, that is something that's directly relevant to me and I need to read it. Your title can be a work in progress and maybe you won't actually get it finalized until you finish writing the ebook, and that is perfectly fine. But your outline should be something that begins to provide structure for what you're about to create. Your outline should resemble the chapters of a book. Since this is an ebook, it kind of makes sense. So lay out the major chapters first and then dig into each one specifically, making a note of the details, steps, or instructions you need to cover along the way. At this point, start writing. Use your outline as a guide and fill in all the spaces. Now, earlier I mentioned a lot of ebooks weigh in at like 20 to 30 pages, but in terms of word count, well, it's actually probably more like, 2,000 to 6,000 words. Remember, it uses a lot of visuals. Depends how detailed, obviously, you need to be. The best advice I can give you here is that you need to provide the detail your audience expects and needs. Don't cut yourself off because you reached a word limit. Providing value is much more, valuable than giving people something short to read. Once you have a first draft of your ebook written, just go back through it and edit the book for clarity and meaning. You can even hire someone to do this as well. Upwork is a great place to look for ebook editors who are very cheap. So look for spots in there to add structures if it can help with longer passages. Like you might want to write a chapter on, let's say, on-page SEO factors in your SEO ebook. So you could add section headers for each factor you cover. So then it could be header tags, link structure, bullet lists, and so on. We just wrote the SEO course. It just helps break up long content and makes it easier for people to skim if they're in a rush. Look for ways to call out key points. You can use quote callouts if there's a particular line you want people to remember or focus on. Use bullet lists or checklists to run down multiple items. If you want to use a visual of some kind, well, you can create it using an online tool like the one I always talk about, Canva. Canva is really good for creating different kinds of visuals, but one I found useful was the checklist template specifically that they have. It's easy to sign up for Canva. You just sign up through Facebook or a Google account. It's free. If you guys want the paid account, we have a free deal from them in Evans Perks. Once you're there, it's pretty easy to browse through different templates and edit them to create something that fits perfectly in your ebook. And then obviously make sure that everything you wrote makes sense. Read it out loud even. That can actually help you spot any weirdness or mistakes. Remember, it's supposed to be written conversationally. Have someone else read it and see if it makes sense to them. Is there anything that's glaringly missing? Designing your ebook is important, but you're in luck because you can find tons of free templates online to get you started. I spotted some nice free ebook templates from HubSpot, Lucid Press, and even a blog called Food Blogger Central, which has templates you can use in PowerPoint to create a recipe ebook, if that's specifically what you want to do. We'll throw those in the resources. And that brings up a good point. If there's a specific topic you have in mind for your ebook, a really quick Google search will do wonders. Just search for free ebook template for cooking. That helped me find the Food Bloggers one. I'm not interested in food blogging, but I found it pretty easily. Or you can just search for the program you want to use, free ebook template, and then Word or InDesign or Google Docs or whatever it is that you plan to make it in. There are just so many options out there that it's worth looking for something that fits your needs here. As you're laying out your ebook, you might find some pages are just packed with text. So again, try to break it up with images. Ebooks can be very visual, so insert a screenshot or something about what you're talking about. A sidebar, maybe even to explain a related topic, something worth going into, or even unfortunately stock photos can make it better than just a block of text. If you want to try that out, go to iStock Photo. It's probably the best way to do it, or Pixabay. Usually you don't have to pay for them. You want a good tip here? Well, come up with a theme for your images for the ebook, including a cover image. Maybe your topic, let's say, is about ways to improve website usability. That doesn't mean every picture has to be of a website. Your theme could be something related like simplicity or even symmetry. Look for pictures on iStock or Pixabay or whatever that feel like a match for the topic, or get inspiration and take the actual pictures yourself if you're a camera person. Either way, sprinkle in these images and choose a great one for your cover to make the theme really stick. As with white papers, make sure your logo and branding is on the document. The cover, the last page, and at least every page in between should have something that they can identify you as the creator. The last page, in fact, usually has a general blurb about the author or the brand that produced the ebook, so use that as a spot to drive people back to your website. Keep in mind that ebooks can end up getting shared with others, so use it as free advertising to keep the original readers and new ones coming back to your site. And speaking of your site, well, your ebook will need a landing page as well. The format should match what we did for white papers. Provide an intro, clear expectations of what people will get when they download the ebook, and break it out into bullets to make it easy to understand. Set up clear expectations, and your readers will be happy that they got a valuable ebook that you've created for them. Okay guys, that is it. If you guys want any more help or advice or want to share what you make, post it in the Slack. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next lecture.